Hey folks, this is Matt with the Sort of Professional Podcast. Just want to let you know a couple places where you could reach us. It's facebook.com/sortofprofessional is our Facebook page. Sortofprofessional.com is our website where you can get all the other links that I'm going to be giving you, but hey, who cares, right? You need to know beforehand. If you want to reach the main place where we upload our podcast, that's sortofprofessional.podbean.com, and you can leave a comment or follow us there. You can also follow us on iTunes or Google Play. Go ahead, Rich. You look like you want to say something.
I'm trying not to sneeze.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the one that I've messed up 3 times now is twitter.com/sortofprofessional.
Hey, Mazel Tov.
I'm sorry, I messed it up again. It's Sorta Podcast. Had to change that. So it's at Sorta Podcast, which is better than it was originally, which is Sorta Professio 2.
I didn't even know
what it was originally. Yeah. So now it's at Sorta Podcast, and you can reach us there. Or, easier yet, sortaprofessional@gmail.com. Good old basic bitch email. All right, folks, enjoy the theme song. This is Sort of Professional. I'm Matt.
That's it? That's just how you're going to start
That's
it?
how we're going to start it. Say your name. Say your name.
My name is Rich, bitch.
Rich, bitch?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you wish?
You want me to add brah to the end of everything I said?
Brah.
What's up, brah?
No, I don't.
What kind of books you get this week, brah? That makes you a millennial, according to Family Guy.
Saying brah? I don't know about that.
Do you know how a millennial was created? They explained it on Family Guy.
Oh, did they?
When someone walks through a vape cloud, a millennial was born.
Is that the way it works?
Yep.
If you ever, you don't smoke, so you wouldn't have ever tried vaping.
Oh, I've seen vaping. It's like a magic trick out of someone's face. They play like a little flute. And smoke comes out.
I don't know. What you did there was almost more like one of those party things.
That's what it looks like to me. Either that or a bong.
Or some of them are very bongish, I'll admit that.
El Kabong.
But you asked what kind of books I got this week.
I did.
Let's get that out of the way.
I got lots of books. I didn't read them all. But
I got a couple new ones. I actually got some Rocket Raccoon back issues.
Tree and Rabbit?
Yeah.
Ooh, almost got you there. You were like, oh?
Took me a minute. I actually really liked Rocket Raccoon after seeing Infinity War, which we'll talk about after we talk about the other thing you made me watch. Oh, God.
You are no longer an obsolete mule.
Okay, we're going to save that. So I picked up a couple Rocket Raccoon comics that I haven't read yet.
Scotty Young one?
I
think he's the writer for them.
Al Ewing.
Oh, those are good, too.
Okay. I picked up the ones that I liked, the series that I liked the cover art more on.
I tend to do that, too.
I don't like the really cartoony. Like the really, really cartoony stuff that I think Scotty Young does. He does the really cartoony. And it's not bad. It's not my cup of tea. So I just want to put that out.
People actually drink tea.
I drink tea sometimes.
While you're reading your books?
Yeah.
I read mine on the toilet.
Rob drinks chai tea.
Rob looks like a chai tea type.
You know why he drinks chai tea?
Because Jackie Chan does?
Nope.
Why?
Because Batman did.
Did you watch Batman Ninja?
I've not seen it yet.
I liked it. A lot of people hated it.
Really? Because I've been hearing good things about it.
You watch anime, though.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, not as much as I used to.
But you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen anime.
So you know what to expect.
Bad hair on Damian Wayne.
I just want you to remember this one line when you watch the entire movie. 1 million monkeys. That's all I want you to know right now.
Okay.
And when you see that part now, you'll laugh uncontrollably.
All right.
1 million monkeys.
Okay, then. I'll start with Flash 46.
Okay, I didn't get that book, so I'll just sit here and listen to you.
It's kicking off the Flash War.
Oh, I should have got it then.
And the person apparently behind the Flash War is Hunter Zolomon.
Who?
Hunter Zolomon? No, you don't?
I don't know who that is.
Zoom.
Oh. I do know who Zoom is.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is.
His name is Hunter Zolomon.
We're not on a first name basis.
Well, you should be.
I wasn't really a big Flash person.
But apparently his big thing was he always wanted Wally to be a better hero than he was, which basically in his mind meant kill people. So he's decided after working with the Reverse Flash that he doesn't care about Wally being a better hero anymore. He just wants all the Flashes dead. So that is apparently what Flash War is going to be. All right. I mean, the art was better than it was in 45. It's got some goddamn weird faces in that book. But it's a starting off point, and those are always tend to be in single issues, in the floppy format at least, some of the weakest issues.
No Justice was pretty good.
No Justice, I had problems with it, but it was good. So let's move on to No Justice then. I didn't like Damian in it because I don't think any of those writers know how to write Damian.
No, they went right back to his...
my problem is he's using turns of phrases and words that Damian would never use. He sounds like an average teenager, and he's not. That's not how he talks.
Okay. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me.
It bothered
me. Harley doesn't talk the way that she speaks in that book either.
I don't know how Harley speaks. If I'd read a lot of Harley before this, I probably would have had a problem with that too.
I just like the art.
The art is good.
I like the story, so it didn't bother me.
They're kind of fucked now that Brainiac wasn't able to tell them what to do.
Well, once again...
Thanks, Amanda Waller.
Once again, a lady had to fuck shit up.
Ah, boy.
I'm just kidding, folks. It's comedy. Take a chill pill.
I was just going to say Amanda Waller once again has to fuck shit up. Because I don't know that she ever does anything right.
I like to be bold in my statements.
Ah, okay.
People take me too seriously.
Is that what it is?
You've been around me long enough that people not take me too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
See, so.
But no, it was a... Other than that, I don't know that I really had any problems with it.
No.
It was good. And I'll keep reading it.
I'm probably only going to get Justice League, though. I kind of wanted to get the one with Darkseid.
That is... What is that?
Is that Justice League Dark?
No. Justice League Dark is the one with Wonder Woman. And I don't think he's on that team.
No, he's on the other team with Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of that one.
It's something weird.
Yeah, something spacey, I think.
Let's talk about Detective, because I love Detective.
Detective was really good.
I just liked it now we have the pre-52 memories back.
Well, it doesn't seem like they actually have the memories. Like,
how do you unsee something that you've been shown?
Well, yeah, but it's not like they have, like, they can just look back and say, oh, I remember that now.
But now she wants to be
They have specific scenes that OMAC Tim showed them.
OMAC Tim. What a stupid character. I have a feeling he's going to bite the bullet.
Again, I hope not.
Well, Dan Dido doesn't like him.
But we don't see him in anything, in any previews, so that has me really worried.
Dan Dido doesn't like him.
I know.
Doesn't like Nightwing either.
Well, I don't like Dan Dido, who... Dido I could have sworn was a singer back in the 90s.
He could have been.
Is it...
Him and Greg Capullo look like they could be twins.
Are we sure it's not Didio? I always said it Didio.
The dildo. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Dildo sounds good.
I met him. He's a nice guy.
And I don't like to talk shit about people.
We're not talking shit. We're making jokes.
I just called him Dildo.
It's a
That's
joke.
talking shit about him.
It's a joke. You didn't say he looks like a giant dildo. He said his last name could be Dildo.
Should I?
No.
No?
No. He's a nice guy.
I'm sure... listen,
he's actually a very nice man, so you don't want to...
I'm sure he is.
And he's not going to listen to this anyway.
But it's like Scott Snyder. Who, when he's not trying to make statements about characters, I really enjoy, but we have massive disagreements about how characters are, or who characters are, and how they should act. Damien being an example of that.
I don't know, that kind of stuff. You can't... Whoa! I dropped my microphone.
Good job.
It needs to be a little higher. I need like a microphone extender.
I'll get it a bong.
A bong?
Yeah.
A vape? What was I talking about? Oh, Scott Snyder?
Yeah, I brought up
you said something.
Him not understanding, or him and I having disagreements on characters, and you said that kind of stuff.
It's like Bendis. You know, I just don't read it then if I don't like it.
I do.
Then you're part of the problem then.
Because I like to have good writers and good artists on things.
Me too. That's why I don't read Bendis.
So
Let me say, I should rescind that a little. He's not a horrible writer. I don't care for his writing style.
Exactly. Like what I said about Scotty Young earlier.
Scotty?
Yeah, Scotty.
Scotty
Young earlier was not to say that I didn't think he was a good artist, because he is. It's just not my taste.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But unlike you, I don't read something if it's not my taste. That's how I show that it's not for me.
Well, like I said, when Scott Snyder isn't trying to make a statement on a character, his writing, I loved Metal.
A lot of people didn't, apparently.
I'm the kind of guy that loved Final Crisis.
Did you see they announced Barbados is going to be a Justice League villain coming up?
I don't like that. I was much happier with that when he was kind of like mysterious and behind the scenes.
You don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he'll be mysterious and behind the scenes there.
I
know is I'll drop the book when Duke joins the team.
You're drinking out of a cup from a character who can no longer be mysterious and behind the scenes because he's been overused so much.
I don't understand that. You're making me mad now. I don't consider anybody overused.
I shouldn't say overused. Overused is probably the wrong word for that. He is... No, overused is probably the right word.
He's used just enough.
He's
the most interesting villain Batman has because he's the total opposite of Batman.
True, but let's say that for the next 2 years, every Batman story had the Joker in it.
Then for the next 2 years, I'd be reading Batman quite a lot.
You'd be tired of the Joker by the end of that.
I've been reading
because you'd run out of shit to do with him.
I've been reading Harley Quinn for 5 years now. I'm still not sick of her.
She's not a villain.
No, but she's used a lot in everything, and I'm still not sick of her. I'm not sick of Damian Wayne either. He's used a lot.
Is he?
Super Sons, Detective, he was in for a little while. Before Rebirth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap between those two things.
You know, Son of Robin, between those two things.
I think that was only 16 issues, too.
It was good until they changed the art.
Yeah. That was towards the end.
I hate people that say things are overused. It just irks me. It's like a pet peeve of mine. Like everybody going, I don't want Logan back. Well, why not? He's been gone for 3 years. People say Deadpool's overused. I don't know. I like the Joker.
All right. Well, I'm not sure.
I cut you off.
Well, I'm not sure that I have I don't even remember what started that. What the hell started that off?
You said the Joker was overused, and you learned real quick that you should delete that statement.
Oh, all right, let's talk about the White Knight real quick, because you keep bringing up delete.
You can talk about whatever you want.
Which, by the way, I shouldn't have said it like that, because those two statements have nothing to do with each other. White Knight 8 was actually really good.
Actually, it was really good. It had a strange ending.
It did.
But I feel like all Batman books have strange endings.
You might not be wrong.
I think that story is going to overtake everybody's definitive Batman.
I don't agree.
It was that good.
I don't agree. It was really good. It doesn't overtake my definitive Batman.
Which is yours?
You really don't want to know?
Tell me.
Batman R.I.P.
That wasn't my cup of coffee, but I could see why people like it. I found that just, I don't know.
It was my cup of tea.
I lost interest in that quick.
I didn't. I could easily reread all of Grant Morrison's Batman tomorrow.
Well, maybe if the comic stores I was going to then had actually got me all the books, I would have liked it.
Maybe. I don't know. It's one of those runs where it's, I think, because I didn't read it when it was coming out as floppies either. It almost seems easier to read as a collected book.
Floppies.
Well,
they're just books.
They're not. Well, they're not. They're more magazines than they are books.
Too small to be a magazine.
Too big to be a book.
That's why they're called comic books.
Fuck you, Arizona.
What else am I going to do to you?
Somebody from Arizona keeps calling me. And I have a feeling I know who it is, so in a minute here I'm going to get a text, and then I'm going to get an email, and then I'm going to get a voicemail.
Is the person psycho?
I don't. It's what is it called?
Do you have a stalker?
It's like Conservatorium of Art of Recording Arts something. It's crass. And I requested information from them, so they sent me something in the mail that was basically just a brochure that said, "Hey, this is what we are," which is not the information I wanted. I wanted information on classes and information on prices. So I said, "Fuck you then," and they've been calling me and texting me and emailing me ever since. Which, you'd think by now they'd get the hint. They have not.
Why don't you just pick up and be like, no, this isn't Matt's phone anymore?
Well, because we're recording, Rich.
That would have been great to do on the podcast. A little Matt realistic. That should be like your segment.
Well, if I had thought to bring an auxiliary cord and an extra converter here, I would have plugged it in and we could have listened to them on the podcast. But unfortunately, I didn't.
Maybe next time. Because, as you stated, they call you all the time.
Yep.
You talk about White Knight.
We were. I'm not I've never been a big fan of Batman revealing his identity.
Me either.
But I kind of think that I'm okay with it in this. Because they worked up to it. And they actually showed the steps to it. I'm glad we can finally get over the bitchy Nightwing.
Was he dead? I didn't even bother to find it out.
He wasn't breathing.
And he was underwater for a little while.
But he was alive at the end of the book, so he must have been okay.
Nobody saved Bane. Hope he was all right.
Ah, Bane.
He just kind of went gurgle, and that was it. At least Croc was all right.
Croc got shot a lot.
Oh, no, lot's not even the word for it. They even had Baby Doll in that.
Yeah, they did.
The oddest couple. I don't even know how that works, that couple.
Well, that was... for some reason, I didn't remember Baby Doll being in there. And then I saw her, and I'm like, wait, really? I always forget how much influence he took from the animated series for that, so I never expect to see Baby Doll.
And he used Mr. Freeze correctly.
Mr. Freeze ended up saving the day.
Mr. Freeze is awesome. I love Mr. Freeze. He's probably my second favorite Batman villain.
Only because of the animated series.
Yes. Though, when I was a kid, I also liked them.
Well,
I also liked the Clayface, which was like a guy in a Mr. Freeze suit, and he had his head that was Clayface in the jar type thing. It's a very rarely used. I had a figure of it for a while. And I just always liked Mr. Freeze because he was, well, in the Adam West show, he was ridiculous. But I always just thought, I like snow and stuff like that, so that was just cool. And then Batman the Animated Series made him that cold character, and I was like, this guy's badass. Just like the Riddler. I never liked the Riddler until Batman the Animated Series.
I can't say that nobody would have come along and done something with Mr. Freeze, but he would have just been a one-note villain.
I'm not a fan of Scott Snyder's Mr. Freeze.
That was dumb. That was really, really dumb.
I did wind up liking the Clock King because of that show, too.
And they only used him in one episode?
2.
Did they use him in 2?
And then he was so popular they put him in Justice League.
I can only remember one episode with Clock King.
But he doesn't wear a suit in the Justice League episode, so it's just a guy.
Oh, okay.
He just recently was a villain in Harley for a couple of issues.
Oh, okay.
But she beats him in like one panel in every issue. And she always pushes him into the ocean.
So he's kind of like, was it Electro? No, not Electro. The Shocker? In Ultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Where every time he showed up, Spidey just took him out like that?
Hey, we even got the Condiment Crusader in some issues now.
The Condiment Crusader?
Yep. You know who that is, right? That's from Batman the Animated Series. Well, not originally, but he was a Z-list villain.
I remember Condiment King.
Maybe that's who it is.
Maybe.
I always call him the Condiment Crusader.
Okay.
But yeah, Condiment King has been in books lately.
I do remember the Condiment King.
I loved him. He got me in a couple of fights a couple of times in a restaurant. Because I'd always squirt people with mustard and ketchup.
I can see you doing that.
I'm quite bold.
Any other books you want to talk about?
Hal Jordan was very good.
Was it?
Yeah, Tomar 2 was now a bad guy, the son of Tomar Ray. And he brought back the Dark Stars from pre-52.
Oh, they're doing that in every book, aren't
Good!
they? Yeah, right.
Good!
Yeah.
They're on the right path.
I'm been really happy with them doing that.
Yeah, except now Venditti, is that his name? Venditti, the guy's writing it. He's moving on to another book, so I'm not too...
Do they say who's coming on to Hal Jordan?
They have, but I don't... Top of my head, can't remember.
Yeah.
I was like 3 weeks ago, and I canceled last week when we were going to do whatever, so... It's just...
Not even gonna give it a shot?
Oh, I always get Hal Jordan.
Oh.
I dropped the other Green Lantern book.
Oh, okay.
Because that book is about as much fun as a funeral.
Well, they swapped writers with Nightwing.
But Tim Seeley's now going to write Masters of the Universe and Justice.
Which they should have Tom Taylor doing.
I didn't get to read Red Hood yet.
And now they have Benjamin Percy writing Nightwing. And that, I think, is a storyline that they did back in Red Robin in the pre-New 52.
When you started saying, I think that's a story from another time.
I did not go to Free Comic Book Day.
Neither did I. They just gave these to me because they knew that I was going to get the new Spider-Man book because Ryan Otley's drawing it.
So they didn't give you the Shattered Grid one?
Oh, they did.
They gave it to you.
Hey, bitch. I've been collecting Power Rangers since the book came back.
They know that I wanted everything with Shattered Grid written on it.
And now we're in danger of losing the book because Hasbro owns Power Rangers and IDW makes all of Hasbro's books.
We'll see what they think about. Maybe if it's selling well, they'll keep it going.
From what I read online, because it sells so well, they might just leave it at Boom and then also have another Power Ranger book with IDW. Which usually ends up in the one from the previous company eventually getting canceled.
Yeah, well, it probably won't be as good.
That's the cover I got.
That's the cover I got, too.
The Sean Murphy one.
Yep. Because it's better than the other one.
And, of course, you had to know which White Knight I was getting.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. She didn't even bother putting the other one in the... I got to hang this wire
What a
up
shock.
because we're going to lose the microphone if I don't.
Well, you have it very precariously balanced there.
Because I'm not taller than you, but I sit higher than you. Because I sit hunched over all day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to sit hunched over all night.
Okay.
I don't want to wind up looking like Yoda.
That's fine.
Speaking of Star Wars.
Oh, boy.
What'd you think of the rumor? Mara Jade.
Oh, I don't know.
For me, it would perfectly explain why Luke was such a dick in Episode 8.
Well, part of me says leave her where she is so that you don't fuck her up. Like you have everything else.
They didn't fuck up Thrawn. He was cool in Rebels. He was just missing everything that made him cool.
I watched the first 3 episodes of that season,
thing.
And it just the trailer was so much cooler than those 3 episodes that I saw with him.
As I try to tell everybody with Rebels, can't watch the first 3 episodes of any season. Like when they brought Darth Vader in, the first 3 episodes were just not for me. But by the end of the season, you were like, fucking kill her!
Okay.
Like the whole last arc with Darth Maul, Ahsoka, Darth Vader, and the not the Night Sisters, the Inquisitors, was fucking fantastic.
It's gonna have to be something I go back and just binge. Because I ended up liking Rocket Raccoon so much after Infinity War that I went to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. Netflix didn't have Guardians 1, they had Guardians 2, and then I saw Doctor Strange, and I'm like, well, let me get Doctor Strange out of the way, because it's one that if I don't watch now, I'll never watch.
Infinity War managed to do something that I never thought would happen. I'm actually going to watch Black Panther when it hits Netflix.
Well, Doctor Strange was actually decent.
Yes, and it has my favorite ending to a Marvel movie. Dormammu, I'm here to bargain, and it goes on for 3 hours.
He dies a lot.
I couldn't stop laughing when I watched that on Netflix. I waited till I could watch that here, and I just couldn't stop laughing the entire time.
I feel like it was supposed to be funny so that you didn't think of the implications. He dies thousands of times. and remembers all of it. Just like, I will talk about it. Let's not get too deep into it because I
was going to say something.
leave it until after deletion.
Right at the side of my head when you said Doctor Strange.
Just
flew away.
Black Panther.
No, it was something else to do with the with the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But I'll remember when we talk about Infinity War.
I'm going to have to actually end up buying Guardians, is the point behind that story.
It's a good movie.
I've been told. Anyway, any other books?
No, we went through all the ones I got.
I've
been cutting back a little bit.
And then we can move on to the thing that you want to talk about.
It's not a thing. It's the greatest wrestling match ever.
Let me start off by reading my notes.
First, you should tell everybody what you're talking about.
Okay, so I wrote down Ultimate Deletion.
Yes, but are you going to explain what it is?
It was 20 minutes, roughly?
18 minutes and 50 seconds.
20 minutes of high-production backyard wrestling with mixed with Z-grade horror movie.
Exactly. That's what makes it good.
Okay.
If you like Army of Darkness.
I will say that, if that's the kind of thing you're into, it wasn't a bad example of that. I don't believe Matt Hardy is British.
He's not supposed to. He's crazy.
His laugh annoys me.
Do you know the backstory?
No.
Okay. He fought his brother, Jeff, and Jeff jumped off a Tron, destroyed him. He was then struck by lightning. A Tron is the thing where they come out of, with the big lights and wrestling.
All right, okay.
He was then struck by lightning, and his vessel was awoken.
Is that the white hair?
2,000 years ago. And he's dined with Genghis Khan. He's battled with George Washington. He has a kangaroo who is the ghost of Smoking Joe Frazier, who trains him. He also has a giraffe, who is the reincarnated version of George Washington. And he gets all his battle advice from a goldfish, who's Napoleon.
Okay. Until the end there, I had something to say. But I'll just say it. So he is that woke.
They only call it woken because WWE doesn't like to use gimmicks that they didn't create. So they gave us broken Matt Hardy under woken Matt Hardy.
But he remembers these things?
Yes.
And still, Dreadlock Mick Unnecessary Lantern was able to almost beat him.
Bray Wyatt?
Sure.
You were supposed to make him think he was beating him because that's why he had to go into the lake. He had to exorcise his demon, which was the harpy known as Sister Abigail.
By the way, the Dome of Deletion?
Yes.
Is a garage. It's not a dome.
It's the Dome of Deletion, just like the land of the undead souls was just where his pets were buried.
That was the weirdest thing, by the way, it's a garage with a lawnmower over here.
No. It's a mower of lawn.
Okay. A wheelchair.
A chair of wheels, get it right, and a mower of lawn.
A ladder.
Yes, and a ring.
Oh, I forgot about the ring. The ring
and a
was
piano.
There. And a piano.
Well, the piano's for his wife. She was playing it in the outside
I did
ring.
like the music, though.
Yeah.
That was
his wife.
That was kind of cool.
And then his father-in-law, Senior Benjamin, was the guy under the boat.
The guy under the boat with the globe in his hand. I was watching it, and that happened. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
That was Senior Benjamin. He was underneath Skarsgård.
That was the weirdest fucking thing.
You know who Skarsgård was, right?
I don't.
Skarsgård is the Viking boat. The dilapidated boat.
You should see Audacity right now.
The dilapidated boat that saves him.
How am I supposed to know that?
He tells you that. He says, Skarsgård, save me, and he gets under it. And then Senior Benjamin is there.
I have no idea who Skarsgård is. That could be a god that he's talking to.
It is. It's a Norse god. He knows all of the deities.
I'm not an expert in Norse mythology. Mm-hmm. I don't remember a Skarsgård.
I think I made that up.
I think so. I think you did there.
I loved this whole thing. So, what else would you like to talk about from it? Did you like Vanguard 1?
You mean the $20 drone that was flying around?
That's Vanguard 1, bitch.
Yeah. I think Matt Hardy woke up one morning
Unfortunately,
decided to buy a $20 drone to fly around his estate.
Unfortunately, I didn't make you watch all the vignettes that went up to it, so you didn't get to see King Maxwell.
Unfortunately?
Yeah, I wanted you to watch them because they're funny. He talks to the giraffe. He battles the goldfish in chess. And then his son, who's 3 years old, is the king of all of this.
Oh. Hey, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about.
Is about
that
the
I wrote
ultimate
down.
deletion.
Well, delete annoyed me, but no, the wrestling didn't look good.
It's not supposed to.
It looked really bad.
It's supposed to.
Why?
Because that's the whole point of this is it's entertainment.
I understand that, but and granted, I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, but like, say when, who was it? Oh, right, it was, remind me of the other guy's name?
Bray Wyatt.
When
the Eater of Worlds.
Yeah. When Bray Wyatt decides to slam Matt Hardy's head against the mower of lawns.
There you go.
You can blatantly tell it doesn't hit.
Yeah. It was a hot lawnmower.
And when they're...
Did you like his orgasm face when he was riding it?
That was
he tried to kill him.
Put a pin in that. When they're in that first... what do you call it? It's not a ring.
The ring outside?
Yeah,
it
but
was a ring.
It's not a ring because it's a square.
All rings are square in wrestling. That's why it's called the squared circle.
All these squares are circles.
This is fun. I'm going to make you watch more wrestling.
They did these quick cuts that they were not, they didn't, I don't think they didn't help it at all.
Well, got to remember, Matt Hardy is 47 years old now. So he's doing the best he can. He's got backwards hips, too.
Maybe.
That's why he does this whole, it's like a new character for him. I'm absolutely obsessed with it.
I know.
Think about it this way. Without broken Matt Hardy, you probably would not be sitting here with me now. Because when everything went down with me, and I was really down in the dumps, and I couldn't sleep one night, I turned on TNA, and there was the final deletion, which was the first one. And I don't know what it was about him yelling obsolete and delete and Jeff jumping out of trees and the Vanguard one was shooting off the fireworks, but it cheered me the fuck up, and I haven't looked back since.
Okay.
I'm glad you watched it.
I obviously don't have that connection to it.
No, but
I'll sit here and take a steaming shit on it.
What was your first reaction after watching it? Did you sit back and go, "What the fuck did I just watch"?
I think what I said was that was dumb.
No, you wouldn't say that.
I did.
You couldn't say that.
And I want you to understand that when I say that was dumb, that doesn't necessarily mean it was that I hated it.
Okay.
Because things can, like, Eight-Legged Freaks is a dumb movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Eight-Legged Freaks.
That's wonderful. You're on your way to becoming a broken Matt Hardy fan.
No, I'm never going to be as into it as you are.
No, you won't be, but you'll still be. Look at my mom. I got her. She says delete and obsolete all the time.
Somebody brought up an interesting idea to me, was that there's a lot of crossover between comic book fans and wrestling fans.
There is.
And this is, I thought about it as I was driving over here, that a lot of this stuff that I saw in that, if it had been in a comic book, I would have been all over.
That's what I mean.
But because I'm listening to people say it.
And also because you have, this is my take on you with wrestling. You have this preconceived notion that wrestling is dumb.
Because I saw Sheamus, that's why.
But you have this preconceived, like, that it is beneath your intelligence.
No.
That's how you come off.
That's not it.
What's wrong with Sheamus, number one?
I just thought that was the dumbest thing ever.
Which one?
I don't even remember.
The Mohawk?
I don't think he had a mohawk.
Well, because first Sheamus, he was just regular Irish Sheamus.
Yeah, who is actually Irish but did not sound it.
Yes, he does.
He sounded like he was fake
now
Irish.
He's been around a while, so he's kind of got that American muddled Irish accent.
What was I saying? But I've said it before. I used to love wrestling, and it's not that I started hating wrestling. It's just that I stopped watching it.
You need to start now. Well, they're not doing anything with Matt Hardy right now, so I'm very upset.
Well,
except you know what's even better? Him and Bray Wyatt are a team now.
I have a lot of other things that I like to watch, and I can't devote 3 hours.
Oh, it's more
every
than 3
other day
hours.
to
It's
wrestling.
3 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Tuesday.
Right, like I was saying, every other day, or
4
every
hours
day
on
now,
Sunday.
or whatever it is. I can't devote that kind of
all
time.
I
to
watch besides baseball.
It's not all I watch.
Well, I used to watch Supergirl, but they don't play it anymore on TV. When I set the DVR, it never records it.
Really?
And when I do record it, it's some high school football game.
Nice.
The Chanticleers, whatever the hell they are. No, that's a baseball team. The red team. I don't know.
Now you're
they
talking
have the
sports.
clothes at Walmart.
And if there's one thing I know less about than wrestling, it's sports.
Yeah, you're not a sports guy. But I'm glad you watched it. I mean, you'll never forget it.
I told you I was going to. I probably won't. You're right.
You don't like his laugh, though.
I'll be laying in bed tonight going, that fucking guy with the globe under the boat.
Well, you don't like Senior Benjamin, huh? He had the whole world in his hands.
It was the weirdest thing.
And then Jeff shows up. Well, I'm sorry, Brother Nero at that time.
Oh, is that who he was?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of thought that after that, but I wasn't sure.
But you should watch the vignettes. Because
you did kind of just throw me right into the middle of something that was already going on.
Well, I didn't think you would take the time to watch the 20 minutes more of vignettes that they've been airing for 3 months. I mean, I can send them to you. I got no problem sending them to you. But it's delightful that you watched it.
I told you I was going to.
Yeah, it just took you a while. I guess now I got to play video games, don't I?
Well, because like I said, I wanted to watch it right before in case I forgot anything.
So now I got to play video games, don't I?
I'm still trying to decide if we're going to live stream or record. Because I'm probably going to be recording something this weekend. They're doing a network test for the Dark Souls servers. And I was able to download that before they took it off the store.
I've gone to the store every week to go food shopping, and every week I pick up God of War for PS4 and then put it down. I just can't spend $60 on a game. You did?
I did.
Was it good?
Haven't tried it yet. I just bought it today.
I'm in a weird place lately. I'm super into comics and wrestling still, but I've tailed off on cartoons and video games for some reason. They just don't interest me anymore right now.
I've been doing the same thing with video games lately. I'll be sitting there because I'll usually play for like an hour before I go to bed because that's really the only time I get right now. And I just think to myself, well, what do I want to play? Nothing. So I actually started up, I have the Return to Arkham thing that they did.
Yeah, mine's still in the plastic.
So I started playing Arkham City. And within like 15 minutes of playing that, I was bored out of my fucking mind.
I found the same thing when I was playing Arkham Asylum when I found it for my PS3 before it took a crap.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't care.
And I really liked those games when I played them.
Diablo 3. I totally just, I didn't care anymore.
Yeah, no. That's another one that just fell to the wayside. I'm
so happy that you watched the Ultimate Deletion. You can't, you could hear it in my voice. I don't sound.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Well, I'm glad you're happy, Rich.
You should be glad I didn't break into Broken Rich Deleted. You see me post online.
Yeah.
Yep. But how could you not like the chair of wheels? I have a Mower of Lawn t-shirt.
I will say, I specifically said it, lawnmower and wheelchair, so that you would say the other things.
Just like I watched The Family Guy. You need to check out the millennial episode of that show.
I feel like I've seen it.
No.
But
it's probably...
You're saying it's unforgettable?
I haven't watched The Family Guy in 2 years. That was just proper English. That was not done on purpose. I haven't watched Family Guy, in case you want to edit it, for 2 years. And my friend Joe messaged me. He's like, you have to watch tonight's episode. It was hilarious. I laughed hard throughout the whole episode.
I fell off of watching Family Guy when they decided they were going to take 5 weeks between every episode.
You don't watch Rick and Morty, right?
Nope.
They just got
70
episode commitment. Yes!
I hope you realize that probably episode 55 to 70 of that are going to suck.
I hope you realize that by the time episode 15 airs, we'll probably all be dead.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Or serving some weird overlord from another nation.
I can't say you're wrong about that.
So, I'm just going to enjoy the news now.
Yep.
Just like I'll never get to see that crappy new Joker movie that's going to come out.
And hey, just like George R. R. Martin will never finish fucking Game of Thrones.
Just watch the damn show. Stop.
I can't.
You can.
No, because they actually change shit.
Good.
And I don't.
So that when
I
you
want to
read
know
the book, it'll be different.
I want to know what's going to happen with the book first.
Then you're never going to watch the show ever.
You're right.
He's never going to finish that.
I love how, hey, I'm announcing a new book, but it's not book 6. Well,
He's
then
like
fuck you.
He's like that guy at the gotta be quicker than that with the fishing pole.
You know, it's like Stephen King, but Stephen King actually finished the Dark Tower books.
Just watch the damn show. The show was great. I tried reading the books and they didn't take for me.
They're thick books.
It's not just because they were thick. I read the whole first one, most of the second one, and then I was like, this is not for me. There was a whole... no, I don't even want to get into it. But it was just like a lot of talking, and I was like, this is nothing like the show. I should have read the books
No, it's
first.
not.
Should have read the books first.
Shall we move on?
What are we moving to?
Infinity War, I figure.
Thanos.
We can have our...
I gave Thanos a new name online. He's the deleter of worlds.
let me interrupt you real quick. And just real quick say spoilers. We're not gonna try and talk around anything because fuck that.
Do I ever?
It sucks.
I just dropped the bomb there and didn't even warn anybody.
I have to wonder how well people can hear you with your Joker cup in front of the microphone and between the microphone and your mouth.
You said this was picking up everything. I probably could pick up a fart from a mosquito.
Well, that was when I had it turned up higher.
Oh.
Unfortunately, when it was turned up that high, it was picking up your refrigerator really loud.
At least it's running.
Yeah. Well, you saw it after I did. It's fresher in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
I loved it. Except Hulk was a pussy in the movie. And a bumbling oaf.
I thought Hulk was scared.
Scared?
Turns out I was wrong.
What was it?
Turns out he just didn't want to work with, or just didn't want to do shit. He said fuck you.
So
he was saying fuck you to Bruce
He
Banner
must
is
have
what
walked through
that
a vape
was.
cloud and became a millennial.
Must have.
No!
Yeah.
My favorite part of the movie, my favorite character in the movie had to go to Drax.
Why? Because I'm invisible?
Yep, I've been doing it to everybody since I saw the movie. I've mastered my movements.
Standing so still.
You can't even see me while I eat this. I can do it. I love Drax. And I also decided that at our comic book store, Player's Choice, Josh and Jenny will now be known as Rabbit and Tree.
Which one's rabbit? Which one's tree?
I'm going to make Jenny Tree because Groot's got a bit of a sarcastic side.
Okay.
And Raccoon is more like Josh because, I got to have that book over there. I did like when he gave Thor the eye, too.
Yeah. He turns out he's not going to get that arm.
You know what really annoyed? It took me out of the movie, and it shouldn't have. Seen Tyrion be the dwarf. Because I'm so vested in Game of Thrones that when I saw him, I was like, couldn't they give him some makeup or something?
I'm not vested in Game of Thrones. I can't say that it took me out of the movie.
That's the only thing it did. But otherwise, I was full force. I was probably the only person in the theater that laughed when Thanos cried.
It led to one of my favorite scenes, though. Tyrion Lannister being in the movie.
Which one?
It'll kill you. Only if I die. But that's what I said.
I thought it was great. Tony Stark didn't annoy me in the movie.
No, he
had another one of my favorite
really
lines. Dude, you're embarrassing me in front of the Wizards. Doctor Strange. I did have a big problem with the is his name Hogan, the Doctor Strange's friend that won the tuna milk. Wong. Fucker just gets in the thing and leaves. Doesn't even help.
What's he gonna do?
He had magic. He could have done one of those things that they had on their hands, the discs.
They took out Doctor Strange. I think that's a little above Wong's pay grade.
And he didn't even get his tuna melt.
No, he didn't.
I laughed hard.
He wasn't going to pay for it anyway.
I have $2. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm not as emotionally upset as everybody is about Spider-Man.
Oh, there was a woman crying in front of me in the theater.
He's gonna be back.
Yeah, but
it was probably done because he'll make an appearance in Venom.
Well, I try to not think about that when I'm watching the movie.
Well, let's think about it this way. Even if he is gone, like Tom Holland's gone, there's still other Spider-Man movies to be made.
Like I said, I try not to think about that when I'm in the theater.
Yeah.
That comes after.
But even going in, somebody ruined it for me because she didn't know I hadn't seen it yet. And she's like, oh, can you believe what happened to Spider-Man? I was like, no. And she's like, I'm like, well, I guess something happened to him now. And she's like, oh, yeah, he died. I was like, oh. But even if I hadn't known that ahead of time, I still wouldn't have cared. I mean, it's part of the story.
I was surprised that it happened.
You know what surprised me more? We lost every Guardian of the Galaxy except for Rabbit.
And people say what's her name? Nebula. But she's not a Guardian.
No, even Mantis disappeared.
Yeah.
They got rid of every character besides Hulk that I cared about.
Yeah. I went in there convinced that either Tony Stark or Steve Rogers was going to die.
Oh, I had one other problem with the movie.
What's that?
I can't remember anybody's name when we're recording.
I don't
know. The guy from Thor. Idris Elder plays him.
Oh, Heimdall. Yeah.
Why did he send Hulk?
Why
not Thor?
Why not Loki?
And where was Valkyrie? She was on the ship. Did she fly off into space? Where was Meek?
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say.
Where were all these
characters?
I did like how they said Ant-Man and Hawkeye were under house arrest. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Yep. They're obviously gonna be in the next movie.
I'm looking forward to Ant-Man and Wasp.
I don't know that I am.
I love the first one, so
I have not seen it yet.
It's a good movie.
It's one of those Marvel movies I haven't watched.
But I've been an Ant-Man fan since Phil Hester was drawing it.
Since he slapped his wife?
That might have been before I started reading it.
It was.
I don't really advocate slapping your wife.
No, that was actually Michael Douglas's character that did that in the
Hank
comics.
Pym, yeah. I'm a Scott Lang guy. Always have been. And when I heard they were making an Ant-Man movie, I said there was only one guy to play it, just like I did with Harley Quinn, and it was Paul Rudd. That's who I wanted. And when they were like, Rudd?
You said Paul Rudd was the only person to play Harley Quinn?
No, yes. Well, he could make a good Harley Quinn. Paul Rudd's a pretty good actor. But I always wanted Margot Robbie. And then I saw her in Wolf of Wall Street. I was like, that's Harley. I got it.
There you go.
Now we're going to get a rated R Gotham City Sirens movie.
Yeah. Is it?
Birds of Prey. Not Gotham City Sirens. It's Birds of Prey.
And I think it's going to be Sirens.
No, it's Birds of Prey. She specifically said Birds of... I don't know how I feel about that. I'd rather it be Sirens if it was going to be R-rated.
Yeah. Who did I say this to? Somebody at Player's Choice I said this to. Since you brought up Deadpool. I have no interest in seeing Deadpool 2. And I loved the first one.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
But I have no interest in seeing this new one.
I'm the same. I feel it's just going to be more of the same.
Yeah.
So
or worse.
I know someone that saw it already. This is my New York coming out. Saw.
Yeah.
And they liked it. But they said it was just like the first one. So I was like...
And let's connect back.
Yes, Infinity War.
Josh Brolin is in both.
He was excellent as Thanos.
He was.
I don't know why he got naked on Thor's ship and just left his shit there.
He didn't need it.
He looked like the guy from Pawn Stars.
He didn't need it.
He looked like the guy from Pawn Stars.
He looked like Josh Brolin.
No, he looked like the guy from Pawn Stars.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I was totally surprised to see Red Skull.
Oh yeah, that was.
Because I did not know that Red Skull was sent into space.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he died at the end of the Captain America movie. I went back and rewatched it the other night. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be surprised. Not happy that it wasn't Hugo Weaving.
I did. When he first popped up, I listened very closely. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not Hugo
But he
Weaving.
did a good impersonation of it.
He did all right. But
Aaron
it was
Walking
obvious.
Dead.
It was obvious that it wasn't.
But it was good to see them use the character again.
Yeah.
It's too bad that Hugo screwed the pooch on that.
No. By saying fuck superhero movies.
I don't think he would have come back for a role that small anyway.
No.
He's too busy being an awful Megatron. I don't know. What'd you think of it?
I loved it, in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah, well, when you sent me the message that you loved it, I sat back and I was like, this could be good, but he also loves Spider-Man Homecoming.
I didn't love Spider-Man Homecoming as much as I loved this movie.
I did laugh when I saw the Hawaiian kid for 5 seconds in Avengers.
When he popped up, I said, oh, Rich is going to like this scene.
I was like, all right, he didn't die. But I thought Spider-Man was well done in that movie, just like he was in Civil War.
Wow. Okay.
I just didn't like the way they used him in Homecoming.
All right.
Maybe I'll like him in the next one.
We had that discussion already.
But maybe I'll like him in the next one. You know there's going to be a next one. So.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely going to be a next one. The Rocket, having never seen Guardians of the Galaxy, the Groot disappearing scene kind of affected me a bit more than I thought it would. And then, of course, James Gunn comes out and says, oh, when he said I am Groot there when he was disappearing, he was saying Dad. Like, fuck you, James Gunn. That makes it worse. Makes it worse in the sense it makes it better. But it also makes it worse because fuck you, James Gunn.
I guess I don't get emotional for that kind of stuff. Because
I do.
I've been reading and watching wrestling and comics and people died. I mean, the only time I ever was really caught off guard was when Superman died. And I should have known he was because it was called The Death of Superman.
Probably, yeah. Probably should have caught on to that.
But my thing when I was back then, because I was a teenager then, it was, well, that's just the name of the story.
Yeah, that's the name they give it to so you'll buy it.
Maybe Superman is just like the character of Superman is no more. And then he died. And I was like, oh, that blows. And then I remember reading the funeral issues and I was sad. But now, like when Logan died a couple of years ago, they put him in an anime. I was like, they'll be back.
It depends on how well it's written for me.
When Jason Todd came back, I was surprised too. In Hush.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect it ever to bring him back.
That was a retcon. That was such a Well,
who cares?
Because he didn't come back in Hush. He came back later. They retconned it in later that he came back in Hush.
But it still happened. Clayface made it happen.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I don't know. I guess I just don't look at... I'm not an emotional person anymore unless it comes to...
I find as I get older, I get more emotional. Younger me wouldn't have cared at all. But older me gets more emotional now.
I'm hardened now.
I'm not.
Life has beat me down.
Life has beat me so much I'm softly bruised.
You're like a banana with brown spots.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, by the way, my favorite kind of banana.
Ew. I will not eat a banana if it has any brown spots on it.
Then you're not eating a good banana.
My mom says the same thing, but I just won't do it. Nope.
Okay.
I don't like mushy things.
To each their own.
I don't like mushy things. Except for boobies. Those are cool. But you don't eat those.
Mushy boobies. Okay.
You don't. Well, if they're hard, I want to know why. One of the wrestlers just popped a tit.
I've always loved that phrase.
Pop the tit. Why?
I don't know. It just makes me laugh every time I hear it.
It's a funny slogan. But yeah, she popped a tit.
Okay.
I'm going to just keep saying that from now on. Pop the tit.
All right. Okay. Don't say it too much because I'll become immune to it.
What about tit mouse? Does that make you laugh?
Tit mouse? What?
You're like Homer Simpson. You say the word tit and you giggle.
Where were we
before
this?
Infinity Wars. You said that Groot dying made you very sad, and I cheered you up.
Yeah.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't. If it had been Tony or Steve, I probably would have.
What?
Just because it's like, and you might probably won't understand this, but people who watch Doctor Who will. When you're with a certain character for a long time, and then you know they're going to be gone, like, okay, maybe
Endgame. I was sad after Endgame.
Maybe they'll bring back Tony Stark as a character or Iron Man as a
Get
character.
it right. It's Tony Stank.
But it won't be Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stank anymore, or Chris Evans, Steve Rogers anymore, or Steve Rogers Captain America.
Did
They'll
War
be
Machine
completely different?
disappear?
No, he didn't.
One guy I wanted to fucking disappear.
What's his name did?
Winter Soldier.
Him too.
And Falcon.
Falcon disappeared. I can't believe I just blanked on his name.
I like Don Cheadle, just not as War Machine. Though he too.
I liked
better
him
in this movie.
I liked him trolling Bruce Banner.
He too was better in this movie, though. Yeah. Like nobody annoyed me in this movie.
The Russo brothers did such a good job of balancing the movies so that it never felt like you were with one group for too long.
This will get me in a lot of trouble. And there were a lot of shots of I can't remember her name, Scarlet Witch's ass in that movie. I'm in love with that lady. Elizabeth Olsen.
Good point brought up by I have never seen Black Panther, and I don't remember how her name was pronounced in Infinity War.
His sister?
No. T'Challa's basically, she's a bodyguard, I guess.
Oh, I don't know her name. So I just call her Michonne, because that's who it was from Walking Dead.
That was her, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But she had a good point. Like, why did we leave this very powerful character up in this tower and not have her out on the battlefield? Well, I think we actually learned not too long after when Vision came crashing out. I hated Shuri as much as I thought I was going to.
She wasn't in it enough for me to hate her.
Well, why didn't you think of this? And Bruce's answer should have been, because we didn't build the fucking thing, that's why.
You know what my answer was? Because Bruce Banner in this universe is a fucking moron.
He also did not build Vision. Neither did Tony.
Ultron did, right?
Ultron and that one other, and that, I can't remember her name either. But I haven't seen that movie in 5 years. The other doctor that got basically like mind controlled by Ultron.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember her name.
I can't remember her name either. Damn. Oh well.
After Thor Ragnarok, I was really hyped for the Hulk, and then they showed him in the trailer, and then I got stuck with the fucking Hulk Buster. I was mad.
They'll have him. They'll have him in the next one.
They have to.
My father left the theater going, okay, how long until the next one comes out?
I thought they left him in the wall. I didn't realize he was standing behind everybody, Bruce Banner.
Oh, yeah?
When at the end, because I go to my friend, I'm like, why did they leave the Hulk just in the wall? And he goes, no, he was standing there. I'm like, he was? He goes, yeah, he was in the background. I was like, oh, I was too busy. I was sad when Scarlet Witch disappeared. I was like, oh, they kept Black Widow.
But I think next year the second part comes out, so we don't have to wait very long.
I did enjoy Steve Rogers, too.
Oh, yeah.
I had a man crush when he was behind that train. Yeah, it's going to be Steve.
My father leans over to my brother and goes, who's that? Like, really? So, well, I didn't recognize him right away. He's got the beard.
I was kind of annoyed that they crowed all of Thanos' children.
Oh, yeah.
When you watch The Crow, they never tell you the name of the bad guy in the movie. And the only bad guy with Thanos that we got the name of was Ebony Maw.
Yeah. They didn't say
They
any
didn't
of the
tell
other
you
ones?
Cull Obsidian's name. They didn't tell you.
That was the other one I was trying to remember.
I can never remember the girl's name.
Proxima Midnight.
Yeah, Proxima Midnight. They never said her name. And who the hell knows what the name of the other two guys are?
Shit. Now that I know the other one's name, I forgot this guy's name. Glaive. Corvus Glaive.
I never would have known that unless I read the comics.
I figured he's got a big-ass glaive. It's probably Corvus Glaive. Right?
That was the only... I had like a few problems here and there, but not enough that made me hate it.
Yeah. It's my number 2.
What's your number 1?
Winter Soldier.
Mine too. I hated Age of Ultron, but I've rewatched it recently, and I didn't hate it at all.
Yeah.
I did have a problem with Scarlet Witch not having her accent anymore.
That was disappearing throughout that movie. She said, I made this decision as an actor. It was a bad decision.
I understand why they did it, but it was kind of like Gambit's accent in Wolverine Origins. Yeah. He had it in the beginning, and then by the end of the movie, he was it Tyler Kitsch, or what the hell his name is?
Who knows? That was a bad movie.
Actually, it's not.
So much.
If you watch that movie and then turn it off right before Deadpool shows up, it's an excellent Wolverine movie.
All right, I guess I can live with that.
It's actually almost exactly like the comic.
I guess I can live with that.
But you have to turn it off right when Deadpool shows up, because then it's just an atrocity to mankind. And it turns into like a bad episode of Hercules, The Legendary Journey. You ever watched that show?
Yes, I did.
And they do the back-to-back.
I always liked Xena more.
Everybody loves Xena more. That's why she wound up being on the show just as much as they were.
That was a good show.
The best episodes of the show are the ones that everybody hates for me, where Hercules becomes a god, Aeolus is dead, and he's just an asshole for until Xena shows up and kicks his ass.
Do you remember Xena did a musical episode?
Yes. And Bruce Campbell was in it. He was
Autolycus. I had no idea that was going to happen.
Nobody.
So I turned on Xena, and they start off with war. And I'm just watching going, what the hell is going on here?
There was always that one episode every season that you were like, what the fuck is going on? You don't hear too many people talk about Hercules' Legendary Journey.
I'm trying to think of...
Remember that atrocious animated movie they made?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. Why did you remind me?
Because if I have to remember it, you have to remember it.
I'm trying to think of other things to say
about
Infinity War without sounding like I'm just sucking everybody's dick that was involved with that movie. And I can't.
Why don't you just say you liked it? Why'd you have to bring a dick sucking
I've said that.
Into it?
Hey,
this could be a children's show,
I don't fucking think so,
Not the way I talk. I'm like the rated R podcaster.
Yeah. Yeah. There's worse than us.
I like when people take me seriously. Like, do you really think feel those feelings?
You're wearing the shirt.
I was waiting for you to notice. I have 7 of these.
You have 7 of them?
7 of them.
He's wearing a Matt Hardy Delete shirt.
I have 7 of them.
Where it's just Matt Hardy's face with Delete all the way around.
I also have, they combined it with the Killing Joke, and it's the Killing Woke. I have 2 of those because Ripped Apparel messed up and sent me one without a piece of paint right here. And I also have a Mower of Lawn shirt.
Speaking of, by the way, did you see that apparently Gotham is going to be adapting the Killing Joke?
They already did last night.
Did they?
Yeah.
Was it as bad as I figured it would be?
Actually, it was pretty entertaining. They just used Alfred in the place of Commissioner Gordon. Where Commissioner Gordon is going through the videos on the wall. And at the end, he has the pictures of Barbara shot for Commissioner Gordon. Yeah. Well, in this, Bruce is going through the tunnel.
Oh, and it's Alfred. Oh, okay.
And Alfred's the one at the end. But it's not really Alfred. It's a guy who looks like him, but Scarecrow has been pumping his fear gas in. So it looks like Alfred takes out a razor blade and cuts a big smile into his face. It was well done for Gotham. I enjoyed it.
Okay. That's supposed to be...
Then next week is No Man's Land.
Oh, my God.
Which is my least favorite.
Let him be Batman before you start doing all that.
No Man's Land is my least favorite Batman story.
Let me tell you, I don't really have a problem with them doing No Man's Land. Can I tell you why I have a problem with them doing the Killing Joke? No matter how entertaining it is. From a thematic standpoint.
But he's never going to be Batman.
I understand that. But even if he's not Batman, it's supposed to be at the end of their story. When they already know each other that well. It's not. So
they know each other well. Because it's not Jerome anymore.
It's Jeremiah,
right? But Jeremiah and Bruce were friends.
That horrible facial transformation that they did on him? Yeah, I remember that.
It's funny. I hate the makeup. It looks stupid. But the guy that plays Jerome and Jeremiah, he plays both versions of the Joker that I like so well. First he was the lunatic Joker,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's the gangster, murderous Joker that I love. That Scott Snyder writes so well. Where he doesn't laugh all the time.
I wouldn't call that a gangster Joker.
It's just how it's classified. Maybe the anarchist,
Maybe.
like that. Like he likes to see what's going to happen.
Like Gangster Joker is that Brian Azzarello book.
Mm-hmm. Jack Nicholson is gangster Joker.
Yeah.
You're right. He's more like an anarchist.
Yeah. That Brian Azzarello book that, by the way, I didn't like.
I read it once. A very long time ago, and I sold it, so I obviously mustn't have liked it.
Oh, do you have Spider-Man 795?
Yes.
Do you have an extra copy of it?
No.
Okay.
Because I wasn't getting it, and I bought one because I wanted to get the beginning of the Red Goblin story,
mm-hmm.
and that's why I have it.
Met a guy today that was looking for it.
eBay is your friend.
I actually saw him at Player's Choice on Wednesday,
mm-hmm.
and then today when I went in to buy God of War, who was the guy at the counter?
Oh, you both got a War at Adams?
No. GameStop.
This was the first free comic book day I haven't gone to in a long time. I just woke up. I had a meeting in the morning via Skype, and I was just too tired to do it.
Well, I said to myself, is there anything I want to grab? And I said, no. And then the next day I remembered, oh yeah, Shattered Grid.
They pulled it for me. I didn't even know there was a Shattered Grid book.
Yeah.
It was good. And it's an actual full comic.
I'm going to have to start taking... Great. That's even better. I'm going to... Well, I think I can get it on Comixology now, even though I'll have to pay for it now. I have to start taking notes.
Did you tell them that you wanted it?
Beforehand?
Yeah.
No, because I didn't know about it.
Did you ask them to get you one?
No.
You should.
So they'll charge me for it.
We'll talk about that after we're off the air.
What was I going to say?
How are you liking Shattered Grid? We haven't really spoken about it.
I'm liking it. I'm trying to get Rob over here so we can talk, like do a Power Rangers episode.
Did Rob see that they're releasing Mighty Morphin and the movie on Blu-ray over the summer? Finally.
But I will say this. I've read more Shattered Grid right now than he has.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about going back and picking up the 7 issues of Go-Go that I missed.
Like I said, I'm going to have to buy or start taking notes on Shattered Grid, though.
If you want, when it's coming out, I can message you because I get them all.
Well, I do too. I get all the Shattered Grid stuff. Except apparently...
I had to talk you into getting the Power Ranger comic.
You
got it when we talk about it in the store that when we were at Chad's.
Oh, yeah.
And I said Lord Draken showed up, and you were like, who? And I said, it's the future Tommy Oliver, and then you went and picked it up.
I got the first issue anyway,
mm-hmm.
because Kyle Higgins wrote it. And
Which one did you get?
He's a good writer. If I remember correctly, it had the White Ranger on. I think I just got the normal cover. It just had the White Ranger on it.
And there 7 covers. White was the 1 of 100, so I don't think you got the white.
No. It didn't have just the White Ranger. It had all of them, but I think the White Ranger was like the most prominent because he was up in the air kicking something.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Tommy's the most prominent Ranger on a fucking cover.
I try to... There's one example, and I always tell you... Actually, I do it a lot. Disassociate the person from the character.
It's a character, too.
Yeah, Tommy was fine.
I always liked Jason more.
Well,
actually, Billy was my favorite Ranger.
I want to see what happens when Jason shows up as the Gold Ranger, because it's on one of the covers.
I think they're... No. That was in the Zeo part of the annual.
Was it?
Yeah.
I haven't read the annual
No, I don't want to say... Because he wasn't the Gold Ranger in it. It took place after.
Oh, okay.
Like almost directly after, and then Zeo.
I remember when I was watching Power Rangers.
That's 2 Tommies down now, by the way.
I was getting ready. Actually, a third one just bit the dust in another book.
Of course.
And I remember watching Power Rangers Zeo, and it was right towards the time when I was like, Amy Jo's gone. You know, Tommy's this other Ranger. It was Red Ranger, I think, then. And when Jason shows up as the Gold
Zeo
Ranger.
Red Ranger, wasn't he? Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, Jason's back. And he was only in like 6 episodes. And I was like, what the fuck? Is that Arizona again?
No. But I just had trouble keeping track of all the teams.
I know nothing about anything other than Mighty Morphin. So, like, when I was reading the annual, to me, it was like being at the dentist when you read the magazine.
Well, I knew... Actually, I might have only known Zeo, because I think that's the only one that they...
I know some Zeo, Ninja Force, and Mighty Morphin. That's it.
Well, there's like 5 different Power Rangers teams now that are ninjas.
And I watched the one where they teamed up with the Ninja Turtles when we were little.
Oh, yeah, that was... What series was that?
And I remember thinking, this is the worst thing I have ever seen in my
bad.
life. And I wanted the bad guy in the worst way to kill the Power Rangers.
But I'm really liking Shattered Grid so far. I hope it picks up a bit though.
Well, we're halfway through, and by comic standards means the next 2 or 3 issues should be balls to the wall.
Hopefully.
And then a disappointing ending, as all comics are. I don't
want to say all comics.
I was quite surprised that White Knight had a satisfying ending for me.
And I don't think the ending to what the hell was it called? Nightwing New Order?
No, that was a good ending. I want a sequel. I want to find out what happened to Nightwing's kid and whatever happened, but I don't think we're going to get that.
That's actually a comic I think that could have benefited from maybe being like a... What was it? It was only 6 issues.
That was a comic that could have benefited being tied into Batman Beyond.
Maybe.
Nightwing's son could have moved into that book a little.
I don't think so. It could have benefited, I think, from having a couple extra issues. That way it could have fleshed out some more things, but what are you going to do?
Even the art was good in that book.
I'm surprised DC brought Kyle Higgins back. They had him on Nightwing for a bit, then said, fuck off.
Dark Prince Charming, I think, comes out next week or the week after.
That was just in some of the books here.
That is one of my favorite books that I bought last year.
The art in that is so good.
Enrico Marini.
Yeah.
I watch him paint the pages on Instagram all night long. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just such good art in that.
And he changes the characters just enough that it's his versions, but it's also the versions we like.
Well, I should hate that Joker design.
Everybody should, but you can't.
It's not one of my favorites, but I don't hate it.
And I like the little dwarf guy with him. Sam or...
I honestly, all I remember from that book is art. I barely remember any of the story. Like the Joker kidnaps a girl and Harley gets jealous. That's
because he's feeding her pizza. That's all I remember.
That's basically all I remember from that book. I remember almost nothing else as far as the story goes. The art, though, I remember all the art. I love it.
I study that shit like crazy. Like, my book doesn't even close tightly anymore because I've looked at it so much. What was surprisingly good, too, I don't know if you probably wouldn't pick it up because you're not a Harley fan, but they did an online comic for that movie that came out that was an atrocity to my eyes. And the stories they told online was what the movie should have been about. It was her movement as Harley Quinn to the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn.
Okay.
So, like, she went from the court jester suit to the rollerblade booty shorts. Why not make the movie about that?
Why not?
But they didn't. And we're getting a sequel to that awful movie.
I'm waiting for Harley in the books to be white knighted.
I don't think we're going to get anything with that until after this atrocity of a wedding is over with. I'm sick and tired of this story.
Why isn't Tim getting a spinoff?
Why is it 18 issues of this? They should have been Colossus and Kitty
because Pride. Tom King's Batman is a 100-issue run. That's
Colossus and Kitty Pryde just got engaged 3 months ago, and their wedding is at the end of the month. Why do I don't want to know about Batman's marriage counseling and the dress she picked out, or
that was the other book. That was the other book I wanted to ask you about when we were talking about the books. I completely forgot about it. Did you read Avengers?
I bought it.
Haven't read it yet?
I read the first 8 pages, and then I got a headache because there's a lot of words in that book. And I just finished working.
Wow, come to think of it, I have to wonder. Did Snyder and Jason Aaron trade notes?
Yeah, right.
Because now that I think about it, No Justice and this first issue of Avengers
are pretty much the same story.
Have a lot in common.
Yep. And they both have incredible artists. I wish Francis Manipool
could
rope him into doing monthly again.
I
We all know McGinnis will be gone after issue 6 and then come back on issue 9.
Well, there's a big-ass hole in the source wall right now.
Yeah.
Do we think there's the possibility of maybe a Marvel DC crossover again?
It's funny you brought that up, too. There's a big-ass hole in the wall that the Green Lanterns built, where all the Celestials of the DC universe are imprisoned.
So there's 2 holes in the DC universe right now?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Well, the No Justice Celestials, that's where they came from. The wall.
Oh, hang on.
I'm trying to think of the name of it. I probably just opened my book.
Green Lantern? Okay, so...
You know the big Celestial that they show in No Justice?
Yeah.
The big 4 of them?
Yeah.
They came from the wall.
The source wall.
Yeah.
Is what that's called.
Yeah.
The Green Lanterns didn't build that.
I thought they did.
That's always
I
been
thought Anti-Monitor did.
I'm pretty sure the source wall has always been there.
Has it? I don't know. All I know is that they just went to...
And that was in No Justice. They were repairing trying to repair the source wall.
Yeah, Hal Jordan's catching up to No Justice. Like, we have, I think, 2 more issues, and then we're on to No Justice. It's weird, because some of the books are ahead of where we are, and other books are behind.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jason Todd's book is behind everything.
Probably, but I don't know.
Because Penguin is still in Gotham, but he left Gotham to go to live in Brooklyn now. That's where he is.
I don't know that Jason's book being behind really matters that much. It doesn't seem like he really factors.
The art changes so much, and it irritates me.
Yep. Well, Soy is the one that I seem to see people liking a lot.
Yeah, he's the one that started it.
Yeah. I have to go back one of these days, and I really don't want to, but get New 52, Red Hood and the Outlaws.
I'm not. No? I'm sticking with Rebirth. It has enough classic Jason mixed in that it doesn't irritate me.
Well, I think eventually, it seems like every DC book now is going to have, hey, remember this from pre-New 52?
Superman's got his red panties back. Except in No Justice, he doesn't.
We actually saw Bart Allen.
Yeah.
And at the end of Flash 45.
I saw that image online. That's Impulse, right?
Kid Flash.
Oh, Impulse.
He was Impulse to Kid Flash, to Flash, then back to Kid Flash.
Always be Impulse to me. Wake me up when...
We need another Young Justice book.
Wake me up when Connor Kent's back.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? He showed up for a little bit.
That wasn't the Connor Kent that I wanted.
No.
I see Lex is going to go back to being a dick.
Kind of?
Well, he forms the Injustice gang in Justice League 5.
Oh, does he?
And they put the big... of course, they had to ruin it. They have to tell you 5 months ahead.
Yeah, of course. Thanks. Actually, so I don't look at previews or anything like that.
I thought you do.
No.
I'm sorry. Your favorite guy is also part of it.
Oh. You'd figure people wouldn't trust the Joker to work with him anymore, but
I don't know why they do. Because it would be like asking me to join the team. Yeah. As soon as it didn't benefit me, I'd be the fuck out of there.
Well, there was it was in the script for The Dark Knight Rises, but I don't know if it was a deleted scene or if they ever filmed. It was.
Did you say deleted?
Yeah. It was in the novelization of The Dark Knight Rises, and it's Bane letting everybody out of Arkham Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
And they pass by the Joker, and they say, "Not that one."
That sounds familiar to me. Is that what it's from?
Maybe.
That's in my brain, and I can't picture where I read it.
But even like alternate universe, Lex Luthor was he was Alex Luthor, was smart enough not to work with the Joker. Didn't turn out well for him at the end, but.
Well, the Joker always winds up getting out.
Yeah. Well, he didn't imprison the Joker. He just never said, hey, why don't you come work with me?
And if we ever get any more Doomsday Clock...
we're supposed to be getting one at the end of the month.
Well, first it was delayed a month, and then everybody bitched, and they were like, whoa, we'll get Gary Frank to work a little faster.
Well, I don't know where that idea came from. There must some kind of misunderstanding.
But notice that they didn't bump issue 6 up. It's still 2 months away.
July, I think I said. I saw. Yeah.
I'm about to the point now where I'm just going to go to you. Was the Joker in it yet? And you're going to go, nope, and I'm just going to put it in the bin until I'm ready to read it. Because I got plenty of time.
That's another one of those books I think it's going to be more well-received when it's collected.
I'm starting to agree with you. We're not getting the 3 Jokers. Sorry.
Apparently Jeff Johns is going to be doing that.
When? In 2037?
Who knows?
Will I still be alive when this happens?
Well,
is it going to be like the Summers Kid?
The crazy thing is that everybody was always putting it on Tom King. Like, hey, Tom King, when are we going to get the 3 Jokers story? When apparently it was never his to begin with. Apparently it was always going to be Jeff Johns handling it.
Well, let's go, Jeffy. You're not running the movie thing anymore.
When, frankly, I don't want Jeff Johns writing Batman.
Didn't he write Green Lantern?
He did.
Blackest Night, right?
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite comic stories. Which they've yet to make an animated movie yet.
Blackest Night had nothing to do with Batman.
But I wouldn't mind them taking a shot at anybody but Bendis. That's what I want on Batman. Anybody.
My problem with Jeff Johns is that, like, you read Green Lantern Rebirth?
Yes.
Pre-New 52 Green Lantern Rebirth.
Yes.
Batman's just a dick.
Always.
And
Batman was a dick in the cartoon.
And can easily get knocked out. Or have you read Batman Earth 1?
No.
Batman is completely ineffectual in that. He has no idea what he's doing.
So it's kind of like the Gotham TV
learns.
show.
Maybe.
Because that's exactly how Batman is in it.
The only time I'll say he wrote Batman well, I mean, other than that one issue of Doomsday Clock, was Infinite Crisis. I still have Infinity War on the brain.
Infinity Crisis. Now you just gave another idea for another major event.
Damn it!
The Infinity Crisis. Thanos comes into the DC world and goes, you know, I did make a couple people laugh in the movie theater. Back to that. When Thanos, I never read Infinity Gauntlet. So Infinity War, whatever the hell it was called, I never read it. So I didn't know what Thanos was collecting the gems for. So for the past 10 years, I've been building this up in my mind, and that was it. It actually looked to me, I was dying. When he went back to his home world, it looked like he sat down and started taking a shit. And I leaned over to my mom and I go, well, I guess now I know all this time when Meatloaf said he'd do anything for love, but he wouldn't do that. That was it. Killed half the population.
You do know that Meatloaf says everything that he wouldn't do in that song, right?
Mm-hmm. But he never tells you what that is.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
He says a lot of shit. I'll pull up the lyrics right now.
Really?
He says
I've
a
never
lot of
actually
shit that he
looked
would
at the
not do.
lyrics.
Even if all you take into account is the duet part,
Mm-hmm.
and she says, "Would you do this?" And he said, "No, I won't do that." Oh, you do this? I won't.
So what would he do? What is that he would do?
Basically, he's saying, she's saying, you know, like you'll end up forgetting me and you'll end up just pushing me away. He's like, I won't do that. And so that's what he's saying.
You totally ruined this song for me.
Why?
It was like a riddle for me for years.
It's not a riddle.
Just
it's
like
really
there was
not.
this episode of...
it's clear.
The episode of R.L. Stine where Sting was in it. My friend just miraculously pulls it up online. For years I thought I made that up because of my obsession with wrestling.
If you ever get the chance, as you can, it's probably on YouTube. Meatloaf did Storytellers, VH1 Storytellers, and he brings out a chalkboard, and he's writing, "This is what I'm talking about. This is what I wouldn't do."
But anyway, I was kind of disappointed, and that's all that Thanos did. I mean, he did murder half the universe, but like Dwight Schrute said, we needed a new plague.
I did hear somebody say before the movie, they'll never do like Farmer Thanos, like never. They're not even going to touch it. Well,
he took a shit. Now he's got to till the lawn.
What did it cost? Everything. That was a good line.
Yeah, there was a lot of emotional in that.
What do you
I
think?
Didn't expect.
What do you think about this? When he is told that to get the Soul Stone, he has to sacrifice what he loves the most.
Mm-hmm.
And he throws Gamora off the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
If he's willing to sacrifice her for the Soul Stone, he doesn't love her the most.
No, that's what the tears were for. To show how hurtful it was to him.
It doesn't matter. He still does it.
I would have done it in a second, just to get to what I needed.
Well, then you
I would have
don't.
thrown you right off the cliff.
Well, then you don't love that thing the most.
That's not true, though. He was trying to save the world, and she was being a bitch, and he threw her.
I think she was being just
Reasonable.
fine.
She was being reasonable.
Yeah.
I was on Thanos' side.
Well, that's like, and I hate to call him out by name, but it's not that bad of a story. Adam, I walked in Wednesday. He said, "You saw Infinity War?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Thanos was actually a good guy, right?" And I'm like, "No, he fucking wasn't."
Yeah, it kind of was.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I hate that. That is
he was
like,
a martyr.
That is like my least favorite type of movie analysis, where they say, "Oh, the good guy was actually the bad guy was actually the good guy all along."
Well, I'm gonna.
No, he wasn't.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with everybody and you. I always side with the bad guys.
I don't.
I sided with Cobra.
You've said this before.
I sided with Megatron. I side with the Injustice gang. I always side with the bad guys. I don't know what it is, but I relate to them. Like, I just always feel like there's somebody who had their life totally fucked up, and now they're like, well, now I'm going to fuck your life up.
That reminds me, and I might know the answer to this based on what you just said, but I was a little confused watching Ultimate Deletion.
Oh! Let's get back to it.
Because I couldn't figure out who's supposed to be the protagonist and who's the antagonist. Who's the good guy, who's the bad guy?
Bray was the bad guy.
They just both kind of seemed...
Matt was the good guy.
Crazy.
But Matt plays the craziness so well that you actually felt bad for Bray.
I don't know that I felt bad for Bray.
You felt bad for Bray. Bray was on an unfamiliar... As my mom... I showed it to my mom just because my mom wanted to know what the hell I was talking about. And she sat there and watched the whole thing, and the only thing she said to me, and I died laughing, is she goes, "That was so unfair because it took place at Matt's house, and he knew where everything was." and I sat back, and I was like, "You're right." So Bray was kind of taken advantage of there. So he was kind of the good guy in that whole scenario. And now he just feels wonderful.
It's that kind of analysis.
It's just how I looked at it.
Okay, well,
Bray was the bad guy. He was the leader, the eater of worlds. Like he would take somebody's life and turn it upside down. Like he fought John Cena, and he had the ring surrounded with children with goat masks on, singing "You Got the Whole World in Your Hand." That's what the globe thing was about. Mm. And when Senior Benjamin throws it to him, that's why he's stunned, because his whole world's about to change, and they throw him in the lake, and now he's reincarnated.
So let me ask this. We'll bring this back to Infinity War, which I feel like we're doing a lot. We're talking about Infinity War for a little bit, then going off on.
There's a lot of correlation between Ultimate Deletion and Infinity War.
Because you were talking about Bray being the good guy. Mm-hmm. So let's get back.
I don't look at Thanos as a good guy,
right? Because he's
I
not.
look at Thanos as a man who lost everything, and to get some of that back, he sacrificed everybody else's lives.
He had a motivation that's understandable, but what
he did was reprehensible.
Right, and it's also childish. It's a childish understanding of that kind of...
And the reason why I don't mind it is...
Or philosophy.
I would do something like that. To get back everything that made me what I am now, if I could find an Infinity Gauntlet and snap my fingers, and everybody lost half their shit, and I got half of mine back, I'd do it.
That's not what happened, though.
That's how I looked at it.
He
got his world back.
No, he didn't.
Isn't that what he was sitting there looking at?
His world was not destroyed. The people on it all died.
I thought his world was destroyed.
They fought him on his world.
See, now you're making me think
They fought him on his world, Titan.
Yeah, and that's his world. It was all ruins.
Well, yeah, because it was, but I mean, we didn't see the entire world.
But he says it is.
They crashed into. Remember, they crashed into that. So we're seeing the.
But he says that my whole world was destroyed in the movie.
I think he meant that in a more metaphorical sense.
Well, I took it as like you see, now they're gonna have to clear that up for me. You might have just ruined the whole movie, like when in Big Bang Theory, where they said Indiana Jones serves no purpose in.
He really doesn't.
So, and when you sit back and think about it, he didn't.
Yeah.
The whole movie would have happened without him.
No, but Titan, like I said, they were fighting on Titan.
Yeah, but everybody was dead.
Yeah, he said that.
So he got half of his world back.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
No, not the people. He got the plant life and stuff back.
No, he didn't.
That's how I look at it.
That was there. We can't. We're not agreeing to disagree.
No, you're gonna have to.
We will say, on the one hand, though, that's a terrible fucking trade for the universe. Even for him, like, okay, half of the universe, You get half of your shit back? That's it?
Well, you've had plenty of shit happen to you that made you...
If I could change... I wouldn't want to make anybody else's life worse to make mine better.
Depends on what it was for me.
If I could make mine better and
we've had
everybody else's stays the same, that's different.
We've had this conversation where if I could time travel to another rich and I found that his life was better than mine...
You'd kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've said that.
So, I guess I'm a Mad Titan.
Apparently.
I'm going to make that my new nickname. Rich the Mad Titan.
I'll do you better. Why is Gamora? I don't know why that just popped into my head.
That's from the movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what scene that's from.
When the
Is it Drax that says
yeah.
that? Yeah.
When the Guardians break in and they start attacking Tony and Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Yeah.
That and I like when Thor attacks them. Well, not really attacks them, but when he gets on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
His conversation with Drax is the best.
Oh, Drax just saying, no, you are a dude.
Why are you talking like him, Quill? No, you're obviously making your voice lower for him. My friend calls me Drax. He goes, because everything out of your mouth sounds just like him. Like, because I have been known, and this actually happened at a bowling alley, where some girl came up to me and she goes, does this shirt make me look fat? And I go, no, your fat makes you look fat. And he goes, when Mantis asks him if she's ugly, and he goes, yes, you're horrible. So he calls me Drax. Everybody else calls me Bender or Newman.
Bender. One line I'll always remember from Futurama, it's probably the only line I'll always remember from Futurama, is kiss my red hot flaming ass. Wait a minute. Red hot flaming ass.
They tell you the meaning of life in the last episode of that show.
What's that?
If you've done things right, people won't remember you've done anything at all.
I don't know that they're...
You can't argue with
They're
that.
not 100%
Just like
wrong.
Whenever anybody asks you, can you guarantee it? Bender has the best response. He goes, I can guarantee you anything you want. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I tell you that quite often.
So I'm glad we didn't have to get into a deep philosophical debate about Thanos'...
Oh, because you and I, other than Wonder Woman, we pretty much understand each other's views on books. I almost punched you.
That wasn't about Wonder Woman. That was about Batman versus Superman.
No, it was more about Wonder Woman because I spoke out of the way I usually speak.
Okay, it was,
and I was mean.
Well,
I admit I was mean, but remember it was a bad time for me.
I couldn't tell you because I deleted it.
He's getting it, folks. He's getting it. Matt's going to fade away
I'm going to
classify himself as obsolete.
I'm going to say fuck you because I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah,
it
doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Once it's in there.
Oh, is that how it works?
It assimilates you. I guarantee you, I can't even delete messages on my phone without thinking about that. Like when I go to delete my emails and I just swipe because your hand's doing it.
That's not how deleting stuff works on my phone.
Don't worry, it will.
Oh, you mean taking it off the drop down? Right? You know, you're not actually deleting the email, right?
Yeah, it just goes to another folder and sits there.
Well, no, you're just swiping away the notification.
Oh no, my box. If you swipe to the left, it gets rid of it.
You have an iPhone, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It does everything wonderfully except for notifications.
It does everything wonderfully except for everything.
I don't mind the iPhone. I've had other phones, and I prefer iPhone.
I will always buy Android.
My friend Joe was like that.
I was looking into another Full Sail University for audio recording or audio production classes there.
Do you know that's where they host NXT?
No. But
you're going to slowly
they
wrestling world.
They have a package that they want you to buy with like the programs that you're going to be using and the computer you're going to be using, and it's a MacBook Pro. And I was talking to this woman on the phone. I said, I guess if I have to, I'll get it. But you're really putting me in a tough spot here because I've said before, I am never, ever going to buy an Apple product.
You go back to school, huh?
Looking into it.
Good for you.
There's no promises on it because a lot of it depends on can I get the financial aid to do it.
It makes you feel wonderful. Yes.
That annoyed the hell out of me. It felt like they were circling each other for like 10 minutes laughing. I'm just like, okay.
That was a dig
right.
at the wrestling fans because for weeks, all they did was laugh at each other on Raw. Like, they would be in the ring and all go, ha, 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 and that's why he goes, "A time for laughter is over." The deletion
know that. You know every line in that, don't you?
I'm going to say yes or no. Maybe.
No comment.
I need to find a woman that can experience the ultimate deletion with as much glee as I do. Could you imagine that?
Why does that sound so dirty?
You come to my house, and there'll be 2 people here that'll try to delete you.
Great. Wonderful, even.
Wonderful!
God,
you gotta say it good.
Damn it.
You're getting there.
Kill me now.
Just so you know, and I may let you record this on Halloween, but I do plan on, I'm going to show you why, too. I'm going to put the white spot in my hair, and I'm going to answer the door and hand out green beans.
Great. I actually like fresh green beans.
Yes.
I love green beans. I love fresh green beans.
You are a Matt Hardy fan. So does he. It's a delicacy in the deletion world.
A delicacy is a weird way to put it.
I really need to. I'm going to have to. Yep, that's it. You're going to have to watch the first ones now.
Okay. We're running up on about an hour and a half, depending on how much I end up cutting out of uhs and ums. But that too, maybe. Is there a con that you want to mention?
Con Carolina is coming up in Charlotte, North Carolina on June 3rd through the 5th, I think.
Neither one of us is going to be there, but...
No, my friend Kevin Graham will be there. I was supposed to go. I won't enter North Carolina unless it's to go to your house or to, if I ever got invited to the Hardy compound, maybe.
What about, God damn it, what's the name of that big con there?
Raleigh Con?
Not Raleigh Con.
Heroes?
Heroes, yeah, maybe,
No,
I
thanks.
think. Is it Heroes?
I've done that. This is not a knock on the show. The people that go there are there for comic people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't been in a comic book, they don't want to see you.
What's the name of that Klaus John? Maybe it was Heroes, okay. God, I can't believe
I would only go to that if, say, you wanted to go and you were willing to drive and I chip in gas money. I would never put my own car through the going there. I have no plans to go to North Carolina anytime soon, but you never know.
All right. I'm sorry, I forgot his name.
Who?
For Con Carolina.
I didn't say
your friend.
Oh, Kevin Graham.
Is there any? Does he have a store or?
He's going to be there just as a guest of honor.
Oh, okay.
As well as Edge, the wrestler.
Well, he's a guest of honor or what?
For artwork.
Artwork, okay.
I was supposed to be, but I am way too busy to take off for a show, as you are too during the summer.
Unfortunately.
Since I was number 1 in that magazine, and I will always be able to lord that over everybody.
I'm still looking for that magazine, by the way.
I got a copy.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was looking for the interview on the internet. I was going to link to it somewhere, but...
there's no interview. I was just the number 1 selling artist out of all of them.
Didn't you mentioned doing an interview with another magazine?
I did do an interview, but I don't... Oh, that was an online interview.
Oh, okay.
It was on my Facebook, but nobody pays attention to that, so...
Well, I still can't get onto your Facebook.
Why not?
I actually haven't tried in a couple weeks now, so maybe I can get back on. Oh, it was on your personal or your art?
And the art.
And the art? Okay, then maybe. Sometimes I have trouble getting on your art one, too.
Facebook has been weird lately. It's been, like, monitoring what everybody's doing ever since he was brought up to the government.
Yeah.
And now, supposedly, we're going back to being social media instead of being ad conventions.
I don't believe them.
Me either. I had a lot of ums there because I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? The number 1 in the magazine.
Right.
So I've been booked for a lot of projects, so I'd rather make the money and have a nice summer than travel to a show, be tired, miss a deadline, and then get fired.
Yep.
I mean, as you know, summer is your busy time.
I just feel like if you had gone to if they invited you to Free Comic Book Day at Player's Choice, you would have just had this huge thing on the front of the table saying #1 voted by.
I've thought about it. Because, it's one of those things where people try to downplay it, and I was like, should I be humble?
Why downplay it?
Because it was, originally when it came out, there was no context, and I was just #1 out of 285 artists. And we had no context of how that happened.
I'm sorry, who cares if there's context? That's #1 out of 200 some odd people.
So for me, it was a big deal because I was like, wow, how did this come about? Then I found out I was the #1 selling artist on eBay for all of March and April. Yeah.
Nice.
For, sketch artists, not people try to downplay sketch art like it's not real work, especially a lot of these comic book pros. But I work just as hard as they do. And I was pretty damn proud of that when I found out about it. So I'm hoping that maybe next month I'll be #1 again because I see my artwork selling.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, so that's Con Carolina.
Yes, concarolinas.org.
Okay.
Go. It's a fun show. Go see Edge. He's the rated R superstar from wrestling. He's also been in Vikings.
I did just remember. Is there any update on Difficult Dog 2?
It's
more Difficult Dog?
I'm actually working on it.
Yeah?
But it's something I do on the side on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Because it doesn't pay the bills yet. And I want it, when I put it up, I want it to run straight through without any breaks.
Okay.
But it's working. I'm getting it to work. I'm having a little trouble with the current story because it's a very personal story. And I have to kill off a major character. And I'm trying to find a way to do it and not make myself look like a psychopath. All the characters in the book have taken a very drastic turn from where they were.
Okay.
Including Difficult. And Mortimer is going to come back as well.
Okay.
Santa Claus is in the first 2 stories. I have a Halloween story that starts it off. And then we have a Christmas story. Not like the movie. And then I want to move right into the book that I have planned.
Sorry, are we looking at like a Halloween?
We might be.
Timed release?
We might be.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm going to do it yet because I changed the format a little. I want to make it like an actual, as you call it, a floppy.
Oh, so like an actual. It sounded almost like you were talking about doing a comic strip.
I want to. It's going to be a full comic page, colored, all done by me. That's what's taking so long. I did all the writing, and now I'm doing some character designs. But as you know, I work from 7 a.m. until about 6 at night every night. So sometimes I don't want to look at a pencil. But I want to. It's something inside me that needs to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And what's life if you don't try for your goals? Everybody asks me why we keep doing this podcast. Because we haven't been building much of a fan base yet.
Well, maybe if the people that said they were going to listen to the fucking podcast listen to the podcast.
You know what? Somebody said to me yesterday. They said...
By the way, that came out meaner than I meant it to.
No, let it be mean. We talk about a lot of geek stuff and stuff that some people might not find fun for them. Like, a lot of people don't like comics.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other stuff on this podcast that you could fast forward right through the comic parts. There's usually about 20 minutes of that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to give it the time, that's your problem.
Yeah. And frankly, I'd say that was maybe 10, 15 minutes of talking about comics, and then it was right into Deletion.
And then right into Infinity War. Yeah. And everybody loved Infinity War, so...
Yeah. I saw some people not loving it.
We should... Title of this episode is going to be The Deletion of Infinity.
It's funny, I was driving here trying to think of a way to work those two things together.
The Deletion of Infinity.
The Deletion of Infinity. Okay, well that's...
I won't forget that one.
That's what it's going to be.
You can message me that 2 days from now, and I'll remember it.
All right. And we did what we usually do, said time to wrap it up, and then talk for another 20 minutes.
We actually haven't said it. You said it.
I did.
But I didn't.
But I think it is time to wrap it up.
I'll wrap it up for you.
Now
it's been wonderful. and our vessels have now been joined by Matthew Hardy. And you will see how great this life will be now for you. You've taken your first step into the lake of reincarnation, as well as our audience, and this is not the last you've heard of it.
Can I? I think no. Probably wouldn't work. I think that pen would tip over.
This has been...
I want to change my name now because he'll just think of Matt Hardy every time I say
What's your
my
middle name?
Steven.
This has been Brother Steven and Brother Andrew for Sorta Professional. Yes!